So, domain number 1. Move her over. Okay. Domain number 1, work area, client preparation, and setup of supplies. You have 15 minutes to complete this section. You will prepare your work area for your client. You will set up the universal supplies you will use throughout the exam. You will also set up the supplies for the following sections of the exam: thermal curling, hair cutting. Plug in your curling iron at this time. You will prepare your clients for service. You will be expected to follow all client protection, safety, and infection control procedures. You will have 15 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 8 minutes remaining. Do not demonstrate any procedure until the verbal instructions are given and you are instructed to begin. Step back to indicate that you have finished. The instructions will be repeated. And then she'll say you may begin. So I'm going to go ahead and start. These instructions are actually, if you can imagine, this is your counter. And imagine I have a mirror here and I have some shelves there. I'm not allowed to use the shelves. I'm allowed to use the mirror and the counter space that I have. So under the shelves, there's a little book, a binder, and it has this in it. In case you don't hear what the examiner says, you didn't hear her instructions, you can always read along. But we can memorize this. This is like a script in a movie. She's going to say this over and over and over again. So we know before we go to state board exactly what she's going to tell us. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I didn't hear her or whatever. You should have memorized exactly. You know exactly what's going on. So anyway, these instructions are under the shelf, under the counter. So they're there. Okay, so she said you may begin. So I am going to prepare my work area. I am going to set up my doll head and drape her. I am going to set up the universal supplies, and I'm going to set up the supplies for the thermal curling and the supplies for the hair cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and start. My kit is here, my tripod is there. The first thing that I need to do is sanitize my hands because I'm not allowed to go into my kit with dirty hands. We're assuming that that kit has already been sanitized, and it has. Everything in there is clean and ready to go. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see this, but I took my hand sanitizer out of my bag number 1 and I put it in a pocket on the outside of my luggage that I can have access to it quickly. So I opened that zipper, I have my hand sanitizer, I'm gonna go ahead and clean my hands. With the hand sanitizer, you don't wanna touch this little nozzle. So if I cup my hand like this and I squeeze, you're not gonna know if my hand is touching that little nozzle. So you wanna do it from a little bit of a distance so that she knows for sure I did not touch it, so she doesn't mark me points off for touching it. So then I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize my hands. Okay, once I sanitize my hands, I'm gonna leave my hand sanitizer there. I know that now I can go into my kit. So I'm gonna squat down, unzip my kit, and pull out bag number 1. Here's my bag number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Now right now I'm assuming that my table is dirty, but that's okay. I'm putting it on my dirty surface, but I'm gonna clean it. So before I stand up, I need to close my luggage because if it's open and I start cutting hair, I'm gonna get hair in there. So I need to make sure that every time I get up, I close it and then I stand up. Since I went into my kit, I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize my hands again. Okay, so I'm working on a dirty surface right now, so let's keep that in mind. So first thing I want to do is I want to open up my bag, and I can pull out my laundry bags, my 3 bags. So I have my trash bag. I will open it and put it under my counter. I will pull out the bag entitled Items to be Disinfected. Open it up, make sure it's nice and firm, and put it under my table. And I'm gonna open up the last bag, which is called laundry. And I'm gonna put that underneath my table. Okay, then all the stuff inside of this baggie are clean. I probably should sanitize my hands, and the next thing I'm gonna get is the disinfectant spray and the paper towels. So I have my stuff on one area, one side right there. So let me take out 2 paper towels, and let me take out my disinfectant spray. I can leave this on top of that. And I'm gonna clean the part of the table that is exposed. Throw this in the trash. So they're watching to see that I'm throwing it in the right baggie. If I throw it in the laundry bag, I'm gonna lose points. So I wanna make sure that I am throwing it in the proper bag. So I'll throw it in the trash bag. And I'll take my other paper towel, wet it, and I'm gonna clean this bottle, put it on my clean side. Pick up my hand sanitizer, clean that bottle, put it on my clean side. I'll go ahead and pick up my disinfectant baggie. Didn't really get dirty, but I'll clean it, put it on my clean side, and then I'm gonna pick up the whole bag, clean it, because remember it touched the dirty table. Put it on my clean side, and then I've got my dirty half. So now I'll take my disinfectant spray again, spray the dirty half, and clean it. Put that in the trash, the paper towel, and I can go ahead and return my disinfectant spray to the clean side. Now my whole work area is clean. I can put anything wherever I want. So now I can unpack my baggie. Okay. Disinfectant, paper towels, and spray is considered a universal supply, so that's gonna stay on my table the whole test. My hand sanitizer is considered a universal supply, so that's gonna stay there too. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of dump everything out of my bag. Then I have this bag that's trash. I wanna squeeze out all the air, and throw it in my trash bag. Because have you ever taken a big bag or something, and if you just close it, it makes a big bubble. When it makes a big bubble, it's gonna take up space in my trash bag. I'm not gonna have room for everything else. So I need to do this, so I'll make room in my trash bag and drop it in. Now, if my hand needed to go inside to push something, that's no problem. I can do that. The only thing is, I'm gonna have to sanitize my hands after, so it's no problem. If it gets full and you need space, mush it down and sanitize your hands. Okay, now my water bottle is another part of my universal supplies. My first aid kit is a part of my universal supplies, so that stays there. Now I have a few things. They did say that I should plug in my curling iron at this time so that by the time we get to domain number 2, which is the thermal curling,